Well, hello, we are the 47, and we are so happy to have you here. We are so excited to begin this journey with you, this 2022. What an awesome year it is going to be. I don't think many of you are aware of the enlightenment that you have already absorbed. You have already absorbed so much light, specifically since the year 2019. 2019 saw an ending, a parallel aspect of a conjunction, if you will, a conjunction of parallel aspects that came together that caused an ending, a catastrophe, some might say. But we would not refer to it as a catastrophe, we would refer to it as a new beginning. Although the past 2 years on your planet have been a catastrophe, as some might say, we see it as an elevation in one's consciousness. We see it as a practical ability to see further than the eye can see. Do you understand? We are now at a higher frequency than ever that the world has ever seen before. We are now able to cast our eyes further than they have ever seen before. We have much more contact. We have more integrations. We have much more light illuminating the darkness of your planet. We have more presence. We have more presence here on Earth than ever before. This is why the catastrophe that you speak of needed to take place. You will notice that 2020 was a rebirth. It was a purge, and worry not. All of the souls that left your human world requested to do so. It was a part of their soul contract. It was all very planned. They speak about it being planned. It was planned. It was planned beyond any concept to the human mind. It was divinely planned. And this needed to take place for the evolution. The catastrophe had to take place for the evolution. Kelly will say, oh, when the universe is kicking your ass, you have to be thankful because it means new beginnings are coming. Everything you have ever wanted is coming. Well, do you see that this current pandemic back in 2020 is what you all asked for? You asked for this shakeup. You asked for change. You asked for equality, for substance, for abundance. In order for this to take place, a shakeup has to happen. The universe has to kick. It all has to fall apart, you see, for new beginnings to take form, to sprout their leaves, if you will. A seed can only be sown when you disturb the soil. The seed can only be sown when you disturb the soil. So therefore, as a life being, you are a human being. Why would your seedlings be any different? The soil still needs to be disrupted. The soil still needs to move so that fresh air can come in, so the water can seep through to the roots. It's exactly the same. You understand the process of a seed taking sprout and growing into a beautiful plant. In some cases, this process can take years. The first few months, you may not even see the light of day. Do you see? This is what your pandemic has been. The seeds have been planted. They were planted way before 2019, but in 2020, they began to sprout. The seeds for more light, for more love, for more recognition, for more abundance, for more peace, for more equality in race, in color, in religion, in everything. You asked for it all and it was provided. But you humans do not like to be made uncomfortable. You humans, you think that you can just ride everything out. Let me inform you that the process of being uncomfortable is simply being the seedling in the dark. The seedling that has not yet sprouted much but a bit of root, maybe a little root. That is all. You understand the process of a flower taking form, and yet you refuse to provide yourself with the same courtesy. You refuse to allow your seeds to be underground in the dark for a while. You refuse to be patient while they come into fruition. And somewhat, you refuse to disturb the soil. May we ask, if you want change so much, why do you all stand in such solidarity and stamp your feet when change is upon you? When the change is within you, when everything you have been calling out for is there within your heart. It really does fathom us. It fathoms us how you don't see, you don't understand the process. You don't see the process, and yet you would allow the process for a flower or a plant, but you do not allow that process for yourself. When we talk about the darkness, we refer to everything underfoot that you like to keep unseen. But as you stamp down on the ground, and instead of disturbing and letting the light in and allowing them seeds to flourish, you continue to stamp them down and suffocate them even more. We have noticed that you really are very complex beings. You like to see things through a tunnel of light. But let me advise you that when you have planted your seeds and your seeds are in the ground in the dark, it is only by illuminating them with the light that they can actually sprout. When the soil becomes disturbed, it is then that you feel the uneasiness of the change. You become fearful. You take a step back and oh no, I'm not enjoying this. I don't like this. I like to have my cup of tea and be comfortable. I do not wish for these changes to take place because I am not comfortable. And you recede and you refuse to accept. Yet with the acceptance of the changes is the change. Do you see? It is just a choice. If you envelop the idea that change is a decision, change is merely a decision. It is a decision to accept the unknown, to accept the disturbed soil. Once you have acceptance, you are free. Do you see? What can possibly change? Do you believe that the walls of the universe will crash around you? Do you believe that the roof from your house will crash into the basement underfoot? I should think not, because these things very rarely happen. Well, the universe, could you imagine? That is not even imaginable. So why do you all imagine this? Why do you all imagine the worst? It is all easier for you to believe the worst rather than deciding to choose change, deciding to accept. Acceptance is key, you see. Acceptance is key. Acceptance is key to become the person that you are supposed to be. You may be surrounded by people who are also comfortable with their tea, also comfortable with their tea. And you are comfortable with them, but you are not. You are all here, so you are not comfortable. You all have the understanding that you are here for something greater. You are not meant to live this comfortable life. You are meant to disturb the soil. And yet most of you choose to sit back and drink the tea. Because why? Because of the thoughts of others? Or because you cannot think of the possibility of accepting yourself? You are great masterpieces at work. We simply ask that you start to look at yourselves as the seedling in the soil. And when a problem arises, instead of crashing to the floor or stamping your feet, you simply say, we are literally disturbing the soil. We are disturbing the soil to allow my seeds to grow, to allow my seeds to flourish, to allow me to flourish, to become the person I have always meant to be, to become me with no worries or concerns of what anybody thinks, to be beautiful in my eyes, to see my reflection and understand that I am beautiful. I have no flaws because I am me. I am allowed to bloom because I accept that I am a bloomer. I am meant to shine. I am meant to fly. I am meant to be so much more than comfortable. Comfortable is not for me. I am here to change the world. And I can only do that once I accept the change in me. I no longer wish to fight. I no longer wish to fight myself, to have evenings and nights of not sleeping, to feel this pumping of anxiety in my chest. I refuse to do this any longer. I am not meant to suffer. I was not born to suffer or to be a victim or to play at being a victim. I was here. I was born to be heard. I was born to shine. I was born to deliver light into the darkest spaces. I was born to alleviate people's pain, not join them. I am born to disturb the soil.